Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Tekian Cultural Association podcast. Today, we are joining two Armenian, well-hearted young engineer and an architect from Brussels, Belgium. They are joining us to explain and discuss about a project which is called ARTSAKH DOON. Our guests are Guerguerian from Brussels, and the other invitee is Movses Der Kevorkian. I welcome them, and we will do this interview in English to have a larger audience following us. I will introduce Greg Guerguerian as an engineer, and he is a dedicated Artsakh and Armenia volunteer and helper for over 22 years. And I present you also Movses Der Kevorkian, an architect which joined the effort of coming to help for the Artsakh case. And they have a new project to present it to you. I welcome you both, Greg and Moses.
Thank you.
I know you are both dedicated for Artsakh's well-being and Armenia's well-being. I commend what you have done in the past and what are the plans that you are actually working hard on it. So welcome, and I give you you can start.
Okay. First, many thanks for having us today and give us the opportunity to share with you and your community the project ARTSAKH DOON. So, like you say, it's been a long time. I've been working on different projects with Artsakh. And this last project that started 5 years ago, it's called ARTSAKH DOON. The aim of this project is to design and come with a solution the most adapted to all the people from Artsakh that are willing to stay in Artsakh. So we know the war have been, pushing people away from their villages. I'm talking about different regions like Hadrut region, like Kashatar region, Shushi, of course.
Yes.
And those people today, and we just came back with Moses from Artsakh, those people today, they are either in Armenia with their friends or family, or they are also in Stepanakert. So a lot of hotels in Stepanakert gave all the rooms to those displaced people, help with the government, but those people, they are waiting for a proper solution to start their life again. Other have left, unfortunately, to the countries around, to Russia, Belarus. So we believe that it's urgent to provide them a good solution for them to help them to stay in Artsakh. Because if we don't provide a solution quickly, well, the result is people are going to leave this Artsakh, and if there's no one to protect, the Russians are leaving, and we know what's going to happen, right? So it is a must, and that's why we've been working very hard with Moses and also another architect from Stepanakert that Moses will introduce later, to scan all the different solutions that we have today in terms of housing in the world. So we, from Asia to even Australia, Europe, and America, we kind of scan all the different solutions we had. We come up with a catalog. So maybe if you want, I can share with you our catalog. Then you can see what I'm talking about.
So, when did you start this project? When did it start? After the war?
Yes, exactly. We started to think about this project and do the benchmark around November 2020. So I've been working with James Tufenkian on this project, myself, Gregory, and very quickly I needed some professionals to work with us. So that's why I called Movses and Sevag Asrian, who are both architect and urbanist. Okay.
Good.
So we started, of course, with the design. The design, it was important to have the local needs because those houses, they're not going to be for European Americans, or they're going to be for Artsakhtsis from the rural environments. So it has to be adapted. We come up with a different standard, the 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, depends on the size of the family for those displaced people. And we come up with a catalog with different options, different price, different level of quality, different speed of installation. And that was our assessment. So here you can see we had some modular box house solution. We have adaptive frame solution. We have stone house, very local stone house solution, very cheap but very quick snap residence. And we have concrete panels, easy light panels. So the idea was to first to scan all the different solution and then go to Armenia, go to Artsakh, meet the people, meet the government, meet Himnatram, do some workshop together in order to select the most appropriate solution.
Yes, it was an extensive work. It has been done, and this has been done during these 5 months, I guess.
Correct, correct, correct.
Oh,
So Movses, I think it's important that you give as an expert your feedback on those 5 months, and especially on the solution and which solution we selected.
Yeah, so actually the idea is the following. We wanted to concentrate on a solution, on a technical proposal, which is fast, because we are facing a humanitarian catastrophe, which is, in terms of price, it enters in what the Armenian government and the Himnatram is searching for, and to be, let's say, in terms of insulation, etc., something which answers to all the
local needs.
yes, the local needs. So the work that we had done with Sevak Aserian, the local architect from Stepanakert, was to search for the needs of these people who lost their homes, and they are searching for something which meets their need as much as possible. By needs, we mean these are people from villages, they should have their storage rooms, they should have their exterior covered areas, etc., etc. So there are a list of needs that we wanted to respect and to integrate in our design. We didn't want to produce simple boxes and tell to these people, please enter and live here because you're a refugee, because you lost your home, etc., etc. The idea was to propose something good in terms of quality, in terms of stability, and then quick to build. So our solution is located, let's say, in the middle of two options, which are the following. The first one is the very quick sandwich panels, which can call them container housing, And in Armenia, this idea is not very welcome because we know that during after the earthquake, you know, construction system was used and was not really a good solution. And the other extreme is the traditional.
We call it the domic.
Domic, yes, yes. So the other extreme is the traditional way of working, is this, you know, doof and basalt house, which it's a bit too low as a timing. It's very hard to do. It will take a lot of time. And then it's a bit more expensive than the solution that we are proposing, which is the following. It's a cement prefab panels that you are seeing here in the picture. First of all, it's a prefab system, which makes that it's very easy to get them, and it's very easy to build them. Okay, easy and quick. And then it's from cement. It means that it's a very good quality. It's a system that we use all over the world today. We have in this picture, we see the base, okay, which is actually a number of U-shaped metal elements that we fix on the foundation, okay. And then the next picture, we see the columns, the corner columns that we use in terms of stability. And in other picture that we will see now, we start to put the panels, which are prefab panels, and it's very quick to have this construction made in a very short time. And then we have the metal structure in terms of roof and the attic, okay? And so the following options and steps we're seeing here, it's very clear to explain and to have it. Please, yeah, the next. And then we have the attic, which is the metal cover, you know, on the
Yes.
on the total area. So to resume, I must mention that this option is very easy to build, very quick to implement, and in terms of price, it's a very reasonable price in order to face this problem, which is the refugee people who are like searching all over Stepanakert and Artsakh and Armenia, a place to be. They are trying to get tickets and go sometimes, you know, so we should act very quickly. We should act in terms of time in an urgent way. If not, we will lose again the second round of the war, I believe.
Yeah, the more we lose time, the more they get roots outside of Artsakh, and we lose the population. I understand that these prefabricated models that you're creating, they give the basic needs for the villagers, plus the comfort. I think they are very well insulated.
Yes, actually, this was a point, a very important point in our design process, because when we say that we should build housing for refugees, we think that, you know, it can be something very low quality, and then, you know, they are refugees no matter what is the temperature inside the house, etc. These are things which should respect in a very serious way. So this technically, I will try to explain it very quickly. In Artsakh and as well as in Armenia, in this region, during summer, it's very hot, and during winter, it's very cold. So it means that these panels should resist to very high and very low temperatures. That's why they are well insulated. We have two insulation layers from outside and inside, which makes that, and especially, this is very important, we have a ventilation system. We have ventilation grids and grills on top of the windows, which makes that during summertime, we open them, the air will enter, will ventilate naturally the house. And we will try to avoid AC air conditioning units, okay, at least during summer. For winter time, we're trying to implement solar panels and then get electricity in order to heat the house. So these points are very important, and not only in refugee housing. In general, in Armenia, we should try to pay attention to these kind of issues because, you know, as I said, it's true that it's a quick housing, prefab housing, but this doesn't mean that we should not pay attention to these kind of issues like the insulation and energy saving problems.
Now let's come to the fact of manufacturing or fabrication of these panels or units. Do they have the capacity to produce locally?
For the time being, I will be very short, and then Greg will continue because he masters the subject. So for the time being, we are importing these elements because locally we cannot produce them, especially within a short time. Okay. So we're trying to get them from abroad, but we have done our research in terms of local companies in order to find companies which are able to build them, because it's not a traditional way of building houses in Armenia. We know that the traditional way is this doof system, etc. So in this case, we had already entered in contact with local companies, and we're trying to work with them in order to find the best company which can build this kind of housing. But as for the panels, Greg is trying to find a new way to produce them, maybe in Armenia, but I will give the word to Greg in this term.
Yeah, exactly. So we have to understand that we are at a pilot level. We need to prove, well, it's not Greg and Movses that are saying that this is a good solution. This is a new, I'm sure you understand because you also, you are an engineer, a construction engineer. We need to prove that this solar panel is efficient. So we're going to start a pilot. There is a need of 3,000 houses, but we're going to start with Darav village, which is 707 houses identified by the Prime Minister, the Minister of the Administration and Infrastructure, Haik Hanumyan, collaborating with Artakh Guerguerian, and they already identify a need of 107 families from Hadrut region who wants to be located next to Stepanakert in a village called Darav. Okay, they coming from three different villages, and we need to provide them quickly a solution before next winter. So here is it gives you an idea of the budget of this project. We're talking about a project of 3.5 million USD. What we decided is to start a pilot of let's say 10 to 12 houses. That now we're talking, we're negotiating about it. The first step of the strategy is to import those panels, build the houses like Movses did, convince everyone, the government and Himnatram, which is a very important player, that this is a good solution in terms of quality, fast installation, price, etc., and comfort. And then if we go for the next phase, which is thousands of houses, then we will bring the plants in Artsakh. It's actually a plant that can be moved, so this is very useful. We can put it right next to the site, the working site, and then bring the knowledge in the country to not be dependent on import and export.
Okay. Yeah, the price looks very good, attractive. Are these the imported pricing right now?
Yes, the price that we're talking about, they imported with the transport.
Yes. So if we manufacture later locally, that price should be even better.
Exactly. It will be
This is,
even better. We will bring the knowledge in the country, and we will be even able to attract investors this time, and not just donors, investors that can have a return on investment, cover the Armenian market, and even, why not, sell those panels outside the country to our neighbors.
yes.
So here you see the breakdown of this data project, the 107 houses per families according to their needs and the number of members of their family. We are going to launch very quickly the pilot. We are almost ready to organize the shipment to Artsakh. We found first donors. They're coming from a French organization called Œuvre d'Orient, and it's important to give their name because they didn't hesitate to give money for this project. And hopefully with this pilot, I will be happy to share with you the results of the house once they will be done, and every report that we will make. And I hope, and that's why we're doing some communication like this one today, is to put pressure on other donors to help us to find the rest of the budget and finish and provide those houses. So with Movses and SEVAC, we've been working already with the local government, the cadastre. They already identified the lands where we can set up those houses. The master plan is already on its way. We have the solution. We have the land with the cadastre. We have the people to be able to build those houses. Again, we need the finance. Okay.
Well, I admire, first of all, for the speed that you have done the planning, and the manufacturing has started, you said, and with the base startup funds available. So this is great news. The reason for this podcast was to give an exposure to your project, and I would urge our viewers to share and spread the good news of what Greg and Moses have done till now. I'm really elated that with such a speed we will be able to keep the Artsakhtsis on their land and make them comfortable to prosper and live longer. We have few minutes left for our scheduled duration, so I would like to give you the last words, and we will definitely spread the word, and sharing this podcast will make things go faster.
Great. Excellent.
Any last words?
Well, the message really I want to push is, and Moses already mentioned it, is this 40 days war is not an end. We really feel it's just a phase one of a long strategy. They're going to keep destabilizing people. It's already very difficult to go to access Armenia to Artsakh. There's some violence that has been done, some shooting from I don't know where to Stepanakert. They're definitely planning to empty the lands and to put their hands on the whole thing. So we should be there. It's time that we united and we act as professionals. It's very important to act as professionals. So if there is people that are listening this podcast and know about construction, structure, transportation, even agriculture, because after those houses, we will need to continue on the agriculture point to provide work and a way for those people to live. We need professionals from the diaspora to collaborate with us with the Artsakh government.
All right. I will conclude this podcast sincerely appreciating what you are doing. We will have the opportunity to follow up later with another interview to see how you are advancing. I appreciate your presence, and on behalf of the Tekian Cultural Association, I thank you both. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Now that we finished the podcast, I'd like to address you a few words regarding this dedicated and devoted work that Greg and Moses are doing. They dedicated 6 months of their time, precious time and knowledge, for Artsakh refugees to go back and reinstall and go to their routine lives. This is one of such projects which are going on around the world. Armenians, humble Armenians, are doing their patriotic duty in coming to help our sisters and brothers. Tekian Cultural Association is also doing similar works. We will give you details later. But what I want to say here, that this tandem work done by Greg and Moses worth to be shared and distributed as wide as you can in order to make their project a successful one. They have the initial funding, but they need, as you have seen, few $1 million to come to help these more than 100 families with new, decent accommodations for them. This is a great job, and it is worth to talk about, and let Greg and Moses be a model for such acts that every one of us can do. The smallest things that we should do to make our Artsakh and Armenia become strong and survive in these difficult days. Thank you very much, and please share this video to as many as people as you can, because these are the type of news, good news, that we intend to broadcast through this channel. Thank you very much.